are you guys doing? Good to see you.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Good to see you. That's crazy.
That's awesome. I usually go out to like a public park, but this is super convenient since
This is fun.
I'm right here.
So what is it? What's the situation? What do you do here?
I have chats with people about anything.
Oh, fun.
I let them pick any topic, preferably something they think is true.
Okay.
And do you mind if I record? Is that
Yeah,
all right?
let's do it. Yeah.
It could run the gamut from politics to religion to philosophy or science.
Anything you want. Let's have fun.
Preferably
not with a dog yelling.
Yeah. I made like a list of political propositions, or you could come up with something else on your own.
We could just have fun. I don't know. You hold all the cards in this.
I want to I've done a lot of religion.
Have you done a lot of religion?
On my channel so far.
Okay.
And I'd like to kind of branch out to more politics.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's do politics. I'll probably be wrong about most of it.
I'm not saying I'm right about anything, but I like to kind of...
No, I mean like facts. I'll be wrong about facts. Let's just be...
Yeah, it's more about kind of brainstorming what facts could we learn to change our mind about stuff.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do it.
I've got a list of liberal or conservative positions. Which one do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, you know that I'm a super liberal, but it's whether or not I want to talk about
here's
them.
Here's my list I've got. I just kind of...
Oh, okay.
I went on like conservative subreddits, saw what they're talking about, like Wikipedia for culture war, or...
IQ based on race differs on average. Oh my God.
Yeah, like very controversial. We don't have to go that controversial.
Yeah, that's pretty. Climate change is real and man-made. GMOs are harmful. Vaccines cause autism. That's a liberal? I guess it is. Yeah,
it is.
It's not wrong.
My friend's an anti-vaxxer, but her kid went blind.
Oh my God.
After like too much mercury that came from a vaccine.
So she says.
That's just what she says?
No, like that's what the doctor said.
Wow.
Well, you also had one that called himself a doctor that wasn't a doctor. It's okay to punch Nazis? All drugs should be illegal. Political correctness is a good thing. Church and state should be separate. I like this idea of political correctness as a good thing because I'd like to debate that topic.
Okay.
I'd like to play in that field there.
We could go
Yeah,
with that.
I might want to play devil's advocate on this one.
Okay.
And
First, what do you mean by political correctness?
Well, so for instance, I had this thought the other night that was really interesting to me, and it goes into film. It doesn't. It goes into like movies and stuff like that. But it's not. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's like liberal or whatnot. But I do think that like. Are we started? Did we start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just checking the audio levels.
That's fine. I think that like we sort of walk a tightrope between like political correctness and maybe just not understanding perspective, I guess is the best way to put it. So for instance, like I was thinking about this the other night where like as a writer, as like a filmmaker and a writer, what you want to do is you want to be like, hey, I would like to write from a different person's perspective. But someone who might be overtly politically correct might come around and they might turn out to be like, no, but you can't write from the perspective of a Native American, let's say, or like like an African American, or from someone from India. If you're white, you don't have that right to speak about those things. And I actually disagree with that.
Yeah, what do you think about it? You disagree with that?
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that the whole idea behind art and the whole idea behind writing and the whole idea behind perspective is to be as empathetic towards your fellow man as possible. And the best way to do that, you're going to get this loud, this thing's going to walk down this way, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, let's just pause.
That's fine.
And just talk about something else.
Yeah.
Did you guys start at the Hollywood Bowl, or where'd you start?
Yeah, we actually started at Vine here.
Oh, I took the...
we watched Jeff Goldblum for a minute. Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum?
You missed him.
What?
Yeah,
he was right
Jeff
there.
Goldblum was there from 12:15 to 1.
Doing what?
The jazz band.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
great.
So where you're saying... So you
Yeah,
can't. Some people say you can't write from other people's experience or perspective.
I think that like when it comes to political correctness, like there's always that story of like, well, it was a white man telling like a black person's story, or like a man telling talking about a woman's story, or whatever it may be. And while I agree with the sentiment, I disagree with the practice, because I think that in practice we should all be working on empathy. We should all be working on how to see things from a different perspective, and not like. And the thing is, as long as it's truthful, I think, to the experience and it's real to the experience, I don't think it should matter, in my perspective. So I don't know. That's just my my sort of concept about being too politically correct and going too far in that direction.
Yeah, as long as it's truthful.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be clear here. If every white man wrote every white man story, it'd just be like, I got up today and life worked for me for some reason, and then that was very, very boring, or whatever it may be. Not only that, I also don't think that every perspective is really interesting in general. I think that or that you have to have an interesting perspective. Drama has to happen. You have to be able to create drama. But if you told only stories that only you were privy to, then you would find no drama in life other than, I don't know, what, alcoholism or, drugs or whatever.
Yeah, and with movies even that don't have humans, can we speak about the experience of a toy or a lion, mermaid?
You're trying to find that's sort of what the practice of writing is. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely a lot of stuff where a person will write it from the perspective of a different gender or a different race or a different even economic status, and totally get it wrong and be totally just stupid about it. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be lauding those people. We shouldn't be holding those people up and saying that's, good for you, you did it. Mm-hmm. But instead what we should be doing is if you are going to challenge yourself to write from a different perspective, you should at least challenge you should be allowed to give that perspective and write from that perspective, but you should also be encouraged to find the truth of that perspective and try to find what you're looking for.
Yeah, and I agree, but if we were mistaken about this, what could convince us that we're mistaken about this? Is there anything we can learn and find out?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's about being really, really sensitive to another person's perspective. I keep on using the term perspective, but it's about being sensitive to someone else's plight and not trivializing it. If you are trivializing someone else's experience, then you have quite the problem. But the problem that we see from an audience perspective is that when we see that, what we have to be able to do is go, is it right or is it wrong, and is it truthful or isn't it truthful? And that, sadly, and I know that we won't do this as audience members, we probably won't read the thing that we heard a bad thing about. We probably won't watch the thing that we heard a bad thing about. And so we form our preconceived opinion about that before we actually take a look. I think that's...
Yeah, like putting a piece of work out there is a way of testing its...
Right.
Its truthfulness. Its merit. It's like if it moves people, if it feels true to most people, that's a way of passing this...
Right.
This test of empathy.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that you wrote a book that felt really, really true to you as a person of that sort of whatever the subject is on. It could, and then you find out that, oh my God, it was someone who isn't, me. It's not what I went through. It's not, and it's a completely different perspective altogether. I don't think that there's something to take away about the way that you felt about something that was at that moment, just because someone else wrote it that didn't have your same existence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that we have to be more open to art in that capacity.
Yeah, I'm thinking if someone's watching this video that disagrees, what could we say to change their mind about this position?
I mean, the best thing that you could do is just maybe read or watch or consume what they are saying, and then find the truth. Try to find the truth in the middle. If you don't find truth, then blast them, call them out, say no, it's not there, and that's wrong.
What are some good examples in the history of novels or film that have done this successfully?
Oh God, there are so many. I mean, you have. Lawrence of Arabia, for instance, yes, is from the perspective of a white man, but they also weirdly put in the perspective of the Arab nation at the time and whatnot. And the way that they sort of they make them seem savage and they make them seem wrong. 1950s movies did this a lot. Whenever they tried coming at the person, it was always white person come in and save the world and all this other shit. Yeah, those were untruthful to that experience. I think personally. I think that those were incorrect to that experience. But that's like saying, for Moonlight, for instance, the director of photography was a white male, a straight white male. Yeah. And to say that takes the cinematography away from the credit of the work, basically because he wasn't from that perspective, I don't think is necessarily correct.
I think Quentin Tarantino does this really well sometimes, like Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
And what was it? Death Proof, like all
Death Proof,
female.
yeah. Or he did it with. I mean, even Samuel L. Jackson's character in Pulp Fiction, he did this a lot, where he throws the N-word out, and he throws just right into the script.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And yet he gets away with it. And I think that's where this came from. It stemmed from, like, I guess that meme that was going around about Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
And it was that Pulp Fiction thing with Samuel L. Jackson.
I saw that.
And that's where it came from. I was like, why does that seem truthful, and why do people accept that character says those things?
Yeah.
Or even Jamie Foxx movie.
Django
Unchained.
Yeah.
Written by a white man, but completely accepted.
Yeah.
Because it's, Quentin Tarantino and how he wrote it. But is it because it's Quentin Tarantino, or is it because it's truthful, and that's where you have to find that sort of distinction? So, that's
right.
all.
Yeah. I agree. We just gotta be more empathetic.
Yeah, I think that when we get upset about people for trying to see something from another person's perspective, as long as it's truthful and it's real and it's not disingenuous and it's not exploitative, then I don't see any harm in it, because what you're doing is you're learning how to empathize with a character and trying to see things from their point of view.
Gotcha.
That's the best way to put that. I don't know.
Awesome. Well,
that's it.
Anything else about that?
No.
Cool.
No, that's it for me.
Sweet.
I think that we get too sensitive sometimes about those things.
Gotcha.
So anyway, that's all.
Thanks, Jamie. Awesome.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good seeing you guys.
You too.
Enjoy your hike or your walk. See you guys
Have
later.
fun.
Thanks. Bye.